Hello, beautiful people. I'm Pastor Jason at Riverside Church, and this is your midweek encouragement. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to continue this journey talking about this blind man from Bethsaida that Jesus healed. And we're just going to continue the journey. I'm glad you're back with me. I hope you take this video, like, follow, and share it if you don't mind. It sure would encourage and bless us over here at Riverside Church. Go on to the text. I want to read it to you, and then we'll jump back into the rest of the story. When they arrived at Bethsaida, some people brought a blind man to Jesus, and they begged him to touch the man and heal him. Jesus took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village. Then, spitting on the man's eyes, he laid his hands on him and asked, "Can you see anything now?" The man looked around and he said, "I see people, but I don't see them very clearly. They look like trees walking around." Then Jesus placed his hand on the man's eyes again, and his eyes were open. His sight was completely restored, and he could see everything clearly. Jesus sent him away, saying, "Don't go back to the village," he said, "Don't go back into the village on your way home." And so I talked to you last week about how people will lead you, but they don't always heal you, and how that their touch might be leading you, but their touch can't heal you, and that it does matter about the people that you let touch you. I want to kind of continue down that theme just a little bit and talk about how they brought him. The text says that they brought him. And that word "brought" there infers that they had to almost force him to come against his will. This blows my mind because I'm thinking, if you're a blind man and Jesus has a reputation of healing blinded eyes, I'm not sure anybody would have to force me to go see this man. I think I would want to go. But the text here in the book of Mark suggests that, they almost had to force him against his will to get him to come to where Jesus was in order to get his sight back. Here's the thought I had on that. Sometimes we get so comfortable being in darkness that when we get around light, it makes us uncomfortable. In other words, have you ever met anybody that you can tell as an outside observer that they're just in a place of dysfunction, and anytime they start to move out of dysfunction or abnormality into normality, all of a sudden it's like they regress real quickly back into that dysfunction. I'm convinced that people have been in darkness for so long that they just gotten comfortable with it, and that they don't realize how brilliant the light can really be. And so they had to bring this man. They were almost forcing him because normal just didn't feel right to him, or maybe not to him, but for many of us, leaving abnormal and coming into normal sometimes just feels unhealthy. And the reality of it is it's actually healthy. And so he had these people that refused to leave him in darkness, and they were going to bring him out of it. And so God, my prayer for you this week is this, that God surrounds you with the right people like he did with this blind man in Bethsaida that refused to let him stay there and didn't even ask him permission, didn't even ask his permission to go, just took him anyway. I got to be honest with you. I am grateful and I am thankful for the people that God has placed in my life that refuse to let me waller and stay in a place of where I'm abnormal or dysfunction. And they pray and they provoke, and they even when I'm dragging and kicking, they just bring me into the presence of God. And sometimes what we really need is we need people that have the ability to just discern something's wrong with that one. I'm going to start praying. Aren't you thankful and glad that God's put those people in your life? Or maybe you're one of those people for somebody else. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to encourage somebody with this video, or don't even use the video. Just call them up and just say, "Hey, I'm grateful for you. I'm thankful for you because I went through a period where I was in darkness, and I'm in a much better place now because of your prayer, because of your encouragement, because of a word that you gave me," or whatever it might be. And so I just want you to reflect on that. And I want you to be grateful and thankful for the ones that God's put in our lives that refuse to let us stay in darkness and brings us into his marvelous light. And so I pray that the Lord just used this to encourage you and bless you. We're on a journey. It's 1 week to the next. And so make sure you tune in next Wednesday night at some time and catch the rest of it. We're on a journey, friend. We'll get to the end of it. And I'm hoping that we're blessing you and encouraging you all the way through this. This is Pastor Jason. I'm saying to you, be encouraged and be blessed. Have a great night. And I'll see you next week.